fun with your Casio keyboard. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different. In fact, it's quite a bit different insofar as we're looking at a Casiotone MT-800 from the 80s, and this would have had the speakers on the back. So yeah, shame I haven't got those, because I always thought when I was a kid they looked really funky with the sort of add-on speakers that plug in the sides. One each side, and this also has ROM packs, and I do actually have another ROM pack as well. So this is the one that would have come with the keyboard, from with your Casio keyboard, not for sale. And then we've got world songs as well. They seem to be the only ROM packs I seem to find. That look on eBay, and I could only really find pretty much just this one. This one seems to come just with the keyboards, but well, we'll see if we can have some fun with this Casio keyboard. Now, I bought this off eBay. It was about £36, I think it was. I think that was all in. I'll put the listing up. And problem with it is it's dead. And the reason it's dead is I think they've plugged in the wrong adapter. So where are we? DC 9 volts goes in there. Now, common mistake people make is they think it's consumer. Arguably it is, but it is actually an electronic musical instrument, and in common with a large amount of electronic musical instruments from the 80s into the 90s at least, if not beyond, it has a negative pin. So negative in the middle, positive on the barrel, and of course most power supplies for consumer electronics are the other way round, so positive center. And I think they've plugged it in and it's gone pop. So I'm not going to do anything with it before I just take the back cover off and have a look, and then we'll do some tests once we've just checked that physically it's okay. It can blow the print off on some devices. I've had that a few times with various bits and pieces, keyboards, and those sort of tape recording studio type devices, Porter Studios, that sort of things. So yeah, we'll have a look at that. Now, center pin, and I did actually have a look on the internet just to see what the official line is these days for having a negative center pin, and I did ask the question as well on the channel chat. Posted a message. Why did they use negative center pin? Now, my understanding is that negative center pin is there in case you have floating ground, which you can have, and it's certainly not that uncommon. So basically, when you plug in the barrel, the pin is the first thing that makes contact as you're pushing it in. So if this is switched on and you plug this in, you want the negative to connect first. So the positive is then relative to the negative, or the ground, on the power supply. You don't want the other way around. So that's my understanding of why they did that. Some people say it's because of noise. I don't know. I can't really see there's a huge issue there with having it positive center. I've seen things like it's to do with switching off the battery pack. If it's a battery powered device, then, but that doesn't really make sense either, because that happens with positive center pin You know, it's just like, it's a switch. When you push that in, it disconnects the batteries and allows power to flow. So you're not sort of powering it with batteries and the power supply, or putting the power supply across the batteries, which wouldn't end well. So anyway, let's get the back off and let's have a look. So, despite it missing the speakers, it is in really good condition, to be fair, and battery terminals look good. So I've got VC with the camera up there, but the spring is good and clean. So that's good. Batteries haven't been left in there. I have got some batteries for it as well, so we'll test it with those. But always my favourite part when you're repairing a keyboard like this is taking the screws out, because it takes for blinking ever. So yeah, let's crack on. So all the screws are out. They're all the same, sort of self-tapping type, all the same length, all the same type. So take the top off. No connector for the battery terminals, so just solder straight on, which is okay, I suppose. Surprising amount of electronics in here, I suppose. And yeah, I'm actually quite impressed. That looks like amplifier chips. Everything's soldered, of course. So no plugs. Yeah, so we've got, these are for the volume controls, no doubt. There's Japanese on there. It's quite cool. We've got a mysterious chip, which you can't really see the number on. Mainly because well, it's been covered in some varnish, and the varnish has started to just go a bit odd. So, but I'll have a good look at that in the fullness of time. There's a variable resistor there. That's not tuning. Tuning is up here. So, where are we with the power? The power is this one here. So, okay, well that's quite interesting. So nothing's blown by the looks of it. Doesn't necessarily mean that's that's a good thing. But what I might actually do is have a look at the, just have a look and see if there is a diode across it or something. And yeah, I wonder if we can just lift out that panel. Okay, so that just lifts out the whole of the plastic. This is where it gets interesting. So I'll lift that up with that. Oh, unsurprisingly, the foam has gone a bit weird. So I'll just use the back cover just to help keep it out the way. Okay. So capacitor's glued in there. Another variable resistor there. That's interesting. And I couldn't see a through hole. Yeah, there is a through hole. So 500k VR1. Now I did find a website that gave quite a lot of information about this particular model of keyboard. And apparently it's quite good for circuit bending, so customizing the way it works to get different sounds out of it. It does also, from memory, I think this does actually have, oh, it might not be this one. Yeah, forget that. I was going to say, I think it's got vibrato as an add-on as well, the chip, because they use chips the same chips for different models, so you could bring out extra functions. But anyway, I'll put a link in the description for it, for that website. It's actually really cool. I do have another keyboard to come up as on the channel as well in the fullness of time, which is a very interesting keyboard, which I'd sort of forgotten even existed. But yeah, I can't see anything particularly terrible going on here. The power is taken, obviously it's powering this board, but it's also taken via these cables here, over to this board. So we could be in for something exciting. So you've got the actual keyboard switches, or keyboard PCB there. But yeah, lots of use of Elna capacitors. They're probably not anywhere near as stressed as they are in video recorders, and the thing is as well is that the keyboard tends not to be left on for hours on end. In fact, you can't, because if you leave it, it'll go off after, I think it's 6 minutes, I can't remember, with Casio keyboards. So yeah, it's looking fairly encouraging. I mean, I can't see any damage, so I'd just like to think, but I also can't see any protection. Which does worry me. I just wonder if maybe we've got a blown... It might have got blown, having the wrong voltage across it. But yeah, let's put it back together a bit. Let's put the panel back in and try it with... I've got a Roland power supply, which is 9 volts. It's a 9 volt DC. And it's center negative. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so panel's back in. I didn't need to take these 2 screws out, because all they're doing is holding on to this bit of plastic, which comes out with it anyway. But I have just noticed there's a whole load more variable resistors here. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I just wonder what all these are. I haven't, to date, managed to find a circuit diagram specifically for this, but yeah, anyway, let's give it a go. Okay, so let's double check this is DC. I'm sure it is. So there's some kit is, yeah, DC. It's quite a chunky power supply this as well, so we should do pretty well with it. And it should fit, I think. I haven't tried it. Yeah, it's a little bit of play there, but I think that'll be fine. But it actually is good for 1.2 amps, so it's got plenty of juice there. Okay, so let's try it. Oh, I saw a light blink, even though it's off. But at least there's power there. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, of course, I've got the speakers plugged in. But that's looking good. Let's start a rhythm, see if there's life. So, the buttons are pretty terrible. So, don't know whether we can memory starts. So we've got an LED lit there. And started a rhythm. There we go. Yeah, so that's working. Is it really as simple as just putting the right power supply on it? I mean, it's pretty cool if it is. But, yeah, that's working well. So let's power it off. So I want to have a look at that, and yeah, so take out all the PCBs, and yeah, we'll get those switches cleaned up, give it a dust out, and yeah. So I suppose the first thing we need to do is take these off. Let's just pull off. So might as well give it a good clean while we're about it. I won't show that, obviously. I assume these have to come off, which are quite tough. Okay, so that's good. So let's start stripping it down. So I've got to get to this panel, which looks to be well, it's that one. So do I have to take everything out? So there are screws. Well, there's a screw under there. So I'm going to have to lift the boards up. Yeah, I'm going to have to lift the boards up. A screw there. There's a screw there. And there's probably going to be a screw right at the end as well. Maybe. But I'm going to have to lift these boards up. So, yeah, good fun. Let's crack on. So it's the next day, and I have found quite a bit of information on Casio keyboards, actually. It's amazing how much there is. So I'll put some links in the description, some service manuals. Unfortunately not for the MT-800, but still might be useful if you are looking to sort of have a play with these sort of things. So yeah, let's get all these screws out and have a look at those buttons. Okay, so we've got majority is self-tappers, but we've got quite a few machined screws as well that go into standoffs. So I think all of these are going to just, well, they're going to have to come out. I don't know. No, they don't. It just lifts up additional panels. Oh, I missed a screw here. Looks like you have to pull this back a little. How forgiving all of this is going to be. It's the tuning that's causing me the biggest hassle. And can I just pull? This is going to have to come the other side. I should really desolder it, but I sort of also don't want to. Okay, so all pulled back so I can get to this panel now. They're fairly generous with the ribbon cables, which is good. Now, where are the buttons that I need? So that is for the ROM pack. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty cool. Does look like this is another keyboard, if that makes sense. So this would have been maybe for a different model. It does mention, I'll have to look it up. It does mention on one of the websites that this is very similar to another keyboard, which makes sense, doesn't it? But yeah, it's just interesting that possibly this is used in maybe more than one model of Casio. So let's get this board free. No, I think I'm going to have to take this out because I'm not going to have enough flexibility otherwise. Okay, so I don't think I have to take out these screws that are under the board. We'll see. Okay, there we go. So we've got a couple of little issues there we need to address. Nothing terrible though. So certainly don't want to be turning this over with it like this because the buttons will all fall out. But it's nicely made, definitely. I'm not gonna wipe any of these over because they probably are all okay. But I do need to fix the switches. So the contacts are just standard push down, and they're held down by a ratchet mechanism. So that's really that's clever actually. Yeah, so I need to take that out and lubricate it and then put it back in, and we should be good. Now what happens when I do this, I don't know. Will it bring everything with it, or will it leave the actual button caps behind? Yeah, so it is everything. Yeah, you can see why they're not great. Yeah, so they're quite mucky. So okay, that's cool. So I'll clean these up and just give them a little bit of lubrication and put it back together, and we should be good to go. Okay, so that's done. Just heard something drop. Maybe. Now that doesn't seem to have a ratchet anymore. Oh, yes, it does. It's just not very good. Okay, well, we'll give it a go. They seem all right, but they were really quite contaminated. So yeah, I should just be able to put the screws back in with, and then push buttons. Do I put a little bit of contact cleaner in the sliders? It seems silly not to, but I don't really want to get rid of the resistance that they naturally have. But I think I'd be silly not to, so I'm going to put just the tiniest amount in the sliders. I can see, well, yeah, I can see a little bit of contamination in the one anyway. Try a bit of WD-40 contact cleaner, not WD-40. 40. Yeah, it's quite grubby. Okay, and I am tempted just to at least take these off, just brush out some of this dust. Yeah, and just clean these up a bit because they are quite grubby. So yeah, okay. It's a bit fiddly to work on, I'll give it that. There's probably a better way to do it than the way I'm doing it, to be fair. So I think the other thing I'll need to do is lift this up slightly as well. Could do something soft. Let's put a bit of cloth under there. So lifting it up means I can place these back properly. They're actuated, so they need to go down and then on there. So they're little locating posts for each set. So it's going to take the cloth that's holding it up. That would have not been good. So this slide button's quite ingenious as well. So it's is it a slide button? No, it's a press button. Yeah. So yeah, totally ignore what I said. So we've also got problems with the power button. Now it has actually got rust on it, but it still works. I mean, obviously the rust is nowhere near the contacts. The contacts are on the bottom of the plastic assembly inside, but I would like to just clean it up a bit. Again, the smallest amount of contact cleaner. Well, that feels a lot better. So I'll just clean these LEDs as well. So yeah, the sliders, they actually slide the contacts, the remote control style sort of painted contacts, which is quite cool. I've not seen that before actually. Not seen that done before. A little bit of contamination there. Luckily it didn't go onto the carbon painted bit. So okay, so should be able to get this back together. Everything's looking good. Let's try and get bits of muck out. Obviously I don't want to sort of use the aero duster or anything because it's just going to send everything flying. So yeah. And it's one of those things that you won't. Hang on, I have forgotten something. Where's it gone? There's a little dust shroud goes on there. It's sort of fibre on the back and shiny on the top. So how am I going to do that? Probably put it in there. So it's a bit of muck there, but like I say, I don't want to use the aero duster, but I might aero dust it through the board once I'm done putting this back in. Slightly concerned these aren't going to sit properly, so put this back together, but anyway, we shall try. Okay, so I'm going to try and turn this over now and have a look, maybe, if it'll let me. Might not be able to because of the batteries, maybe. See if I can do this. So let's have a look at what some of these chips are and what they do. I'm going to be referencing the one website that I've put in the description below, so yeah, let's have a look. So the surface mount chip that we couldn't read the label on, that is actually an NEC D930G or a PD 930G, and that's actually used for the accompaniment. So it's the accompaniment CPU. So yeah, that's actually quite interesting. Produces different multipulse square wave tones, partly with capacitor envelope and trigger pulses for external analog drums. So that's quite interesting actually. Then we've got the NEC D931C, and this is the main voice IC, voice sound, if you like, IC. So yeah, that's really cool. So from what I understand, these 5 pots here, these actually change basically the drums and how the drums sound, and you can get pulses if you turn them right the way, or some of them apparently right the way up. You can actually get it so it vibrates almost, so that might be interesting to try at some point in the future. Also interesting that we've got these sort of like that the Sony C9 uses, the encapsulated I'm guessing there's ceramic boards with surface mount components on. So yeah, no idea quite what those do. I've just found it. They're actually hybrid percussion hybrid chips. So there's a 9-pin, an 11-pin and a 12-pin. I won't read out the numbers because it's all on the site, but yeah, it does make sense because they're right by those pots, so that's cool. Then we've got 4 static RAM chips. What are they? 4-bit times 1K. So a total of 2K. So yeah, interesting. And then I think this is just logic down here, logic control, and yeah. So I'm actually intrigued to see what's going on with this board. Interestingly, I've not done that. Must have been like that when it was manufactured. So let's just get that off and see what's going on. Right, so that one's just spinning around. I couldn't quite grab enough of it. Yeah, I'm grabbing onto a bit of plastic, so that's why I couldn't grab enough of it. So there's a plastic standoff there. Well, on all of them. So that's quite interesting. And I do wonder if I might have lost. I did hear something rattle about, so I might have lost the standoff. Undo that screw. Oh, well, doesn't tell you much. Wonder what that board is. We've got a couple more variable resistors there. More pots. There doesn't seem to be much going on that board. So there's obviously something that's added to this particular model that others didn't have, or it had something different. Interesting. Don't think my little bit of blurb has much on it. Yeah, so apparently this does have additional voices that could be added, and extra rhythms as well. So yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, it's a keyboard that uses very common to other models. So it makes sense really. So I think what I'll do to put this back together, I'm going to put it together free and then put the screws in last at the top. So I need to get I can hear one of those standoffs rattling about as well, but I just think if I do it that way around, putting it back together, then I'm not gonna struggle to get those little standoffs off in. Guess what I forgot? I forgot to put this back on. So which way round? So we've got the pots there. Yeah, well, luckily I haven't done these up too tight, but yeah, definitely drop the board down from the top rather than do it from the bottom and have to deal with all of this. I've cheated a little bit. I've actually glued on the standoffs with just a tiny dab of E8000. So yeah, they can be removed again if need be, but it just makes reassembly a lot simpler. So yeah, let's get this reassembled. Right, super. So I realised why that screw wasn't right the way through, because it's actually grounding the top foil layer and the card there, and trying to get the screw back in so it makes good contact. I ripped it a little bit, but that's fine, that'll be okay. So let's get this put back on, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple of screws in, just to keep it located, and we should be good to go. Right, done. I did put all four in the end because it actually wasn't too bad. I just still really worried about the ribbons, but anyway, we seem to be okay. So let's get this back together, and just help if we put it the right way round. Just making sure the ribbons do actually go in the right place. We don't trap any wires as well. There's quite a lot going on. Okay, so yeah, buttons are still not, well, they're better. See that one? I think it will get there. I might have to do something with them. These are all locks, but they're okay now. The ratchet had locked, but they're fine. But that button there also is a bit, just the mechanism is sticking. So I did just put a tiny bit of the silicone spray in there, and again it's starting to work, but just contaminated really. That one seems alright actually, but that one, it's just not quite, you know, if I flick it, it's fine. So that there's enough force behind it with the, because I wondered if maybe the rubber underneath had slipped slightly, but there's enough force there. It's just the mechanism itself, the plastics, contaminated. I think it is contamination. I don't think there's anything actually wrong with them. So yeah, interesting. But like I say, just the tiniest amount. I mean, obviously you don't want to get too much there, because if it gets underneath the rubber and onto the carbon paint for the contact, it's not going to work. So yeah, it's literally the tiniest amount. It is improving. So yeah, anyway, I suppose I ought to put the screws in the back, because I haven't done that yet. And we'll give it a try. Let's crack on. So for the lack of speakers, I'm going to use the We Are Rewind boombox, and let's use the auxiliary in on an adapter. But I'm going to power it with batteries as well, and I've got these Allmax batteries which claim to be very good, but well, we'll see. And yeah, let's get these put in. Okay, moment of truth. Just turn it down a bit just in case. Okay, so we're on. Let's just put that back up there. Right, so, well, I suppose we can't see, can we? So let's plug it in, and let's turn the volume down. Turn this on to aux. So that's in the wrong place. Headphones. Does help you put it in the way. Gosh. Yeah. That's going to need some contact cleaner. Let's just see if we can get... There we go. That's not too bad. Piano, electric piano, Celesta, funny, okay, violin, clarinet, and synth flute, and sustain. The stereo chorus works. I'm not sure sustain does. Let's try a rhythm. So we're up. So rock, disco, swing 2-beat. Samba, tango, slow rock, and then see if this works. Yeah, so I think that has slipped underneath, so I'll have to fix that. Yeah, that's not working. Okay, let's see if that switch works. That's Casio cord, of course. Okay, that's cool. So, let's see if we can actually play something off here. So ROM select and play. So starts. Cool. So yeah, now turn that off. I don't think I need to turn the keyboard off to take the ROM out, but I'm going to. Let's put the world music one in. Turn it on. ROM select. So that's the built-in one. I think. Might be wrong. Haven't read the manual. Well, I haven't got the manual. Well, I have got the manual now. I've got the user manual for us. But anyway. Cool. So that's working. I need to sort that out. So I'll do that. I won't do that in this video. We know what it is. We know what's going on, and we know how to get to it. So, bit of a big job. I suppose it's not really that bad, is it? But yeah, I need to work out a better way of sort of making sure that all those rubber contacts are in the right place. But yeah, it is lovely. Cool. Okay, so, well, it works. For a dead keyboard, it's certainly got a lot of life left in it. Really interesting having a look inside, actually. I had no idea just how much was in these keyboards, to be fair. 1983, I believe, these came out. And they were made for, I think, a few years. I think it was 86. I think they were still available as a keyboard, as an option. So yeah, and it's quite interesting as well how they varied it for different models. They sort of varied the PCBs and whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Certainly something a bit different, and I probably will do some more keyboard stuff, especially when I get a bit more confident doing keyboard stuff again, because I used to repair quite a few back in the day. And for my various jobs in schools as well, I've repaired quite a few. So yeah, it was quite nice to look at something that I actually enjoy. So yeah, I have very fond memories of the Casio keyboards. I used to play when I was a kid. I haven't played for years and I haven't really got a clue anymore, but I still love the look of them. You have to appreciate just how cool they did look. So, and how quickly that design ethos was lost, really. I think when they modernised them sort of in the 90s, they just didn't have the same flair. This is great. So this keyboard has had a lot of use. So if I so down the bottom, not so clicky. A lot of these keys are sort of just like banging when you release them. And these top three are actually pretty good. Most of the lower side is good, but these are not good. So, gonna have a look at that. So, yeah, do that. Got to do that button. So let me know in the comments. Would you like to see me do that? And so let me know in the comments. Would you like me to do that on a video? And maybe we'll do some other bits and pieces with it as well, because it's a cool keyboard. So yeah. With that, thank you very much for watching. A like and subscribe would be fantastic, and a hype too. And hopefully I shall see you in another video. Bye for now.